Hello, everyone. Welcome to the last episode of Big Girl Brunch for 2025. I I can't believe 2025 is almost over, and again, I'm sorry for the terrible lighting. It's really not meant for filming, but we are back in this room. Um, I have a few things to discuss in relation to the end of 2025, I guess, but I generally wanted to go about it by going through the bingo card I made for 2025. So if you weren't here during the beginning of the year, I made a bingo card for 2025, which basically contains my 2025 bucket list and resolutions that I wanted to check off by the end of the year so I could get bingo. And it was just a fun way of visually looking at my list. Um, so that's what we're going to be doing today, or that's the structure of how we're gonna chat today. Oops, sorry, I should put that on silent. Um, I also need to preempt that I will hopefully not be editing this video or cutting it down aside from putting the text at the beginning and the end. But generally, I want this to be as raw as can be because one, I don't want to have to edit it before posting it, and two, it's December 28th. It's almost the end of the year and month. I don't want to stress about it. And third, I just think it feels more real sometimes when it's uncut. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I guess we can start with looking at the bingo card. So first, I wanted to go through the ones I completed, and then we can go to the ones that I did not complete. For to what am I saying? I don't know if I want to spoil you about if I hit bingo or not. But I guess it would make more sense if I said at the start if I hit bingo or not. So, spoiler alert, I did not hit bingo for 2025. And I think the reason why I did not hit bingo is that I feel like as helpful as a bingo card is, like you can actually see all of the goals you want to achieve in the year. I don't know, it just felt like so much pressure, which made me not want to look at the bingo card, which made me forget what was even on the bingo card, if that makes any sense. So, but I mean, that's not the only reason why I did not hit bingo. I think, like, in full honesty, I don't think I had the best year mentally. Um, I was really burnt out and I just did not have the energy to do anything or like anything because I felt like I just needed to work all the time. But at the same time, I did not have the energy to do my best at work. So it's just like a lot of that. Anyway, now let's actually go to the bingo card. So let's go through the ones that I completed first. So I guess I won't go in order. I'll just go through like the bingo card as I see fit. Um, the first thing I see here, what am I saying? The first thing I see here is shift careers, and when I say shift careers, I mean shift to like a more um, comms centered work, and I checked that off because I became a comms officer, a communications officer of my workplace this year. I did not switch workplaces. I stayed in the same workplace, but I just switched positions. Um, as much as I am really grateful for that opportunity, I think I did not realize how much pressure it was on me, and I did not realize how much it would take from me, which really I think affected my bingo for 2025. Just like the other areas of my life were put in the back seat. Is it back burner? I don't know. Basta naisang tabi yung ibang areas ng life ko dahil dito, I would say. And I don't think I would I don't think I regret it because I really am grateful for that opportunity. But um, yeah, it was just really a lot, and I underestimated how much it would need from me. Um, so yeah, that's the first one I checked off. I'm glad I got to try that. But I am also resigning, so yeah. Can't believe I get to check that off my bingo list. I did not even have resigning on my bingo list. The second one on here is to go to Japan, which I'm really, really excited about. I'm not sure if when I made this bingo list, I already knew I was going to Japan. Like, I'm not sure if we already bought the tickets, but we've loosely talked about going to Japan. I think. I'm not sure. But yeah, so we did go to Japan. Even when we bought tickets, even when it was only like 2 months away, I was really scared that for some reason it was not going to happen. And that's because I'm anxious. But also, that's just like, when you travel for vacation, I think that's always a fear na baka hindi kayo matuloy, baka biglang magka-problema sa immigration, stuff like that. And so, I was nervous even if everything was set. And I really, really enjoyed Japan. Obviously, I enjoyed spending time with Lucas, but also I enjoyed using my personal leave for actual vacation. And I enjoyed being out of the country for vacation rather than for work because I have been out of the country and I'm thankful for my job. Because it allows me to be able to go out of the country, but it is still work at the end of the day. So it was crazy na pumunta sa ibang bansa nang walang iniisip na trabaho because I've never experienced that before Japan. I'm really, really proud of Japan as well because I really used my hard-earned money to go to Japan. I really saved up for it. And I think we made the most out of it and out of our resources. So yeah, next is read 25 books. Read for 25 minutes a day. So I did read 25 books or more than 25 books, I think, like 31 maybe. But I would not say I was consistent with reading for 25 minutes a day because I was not tracking as much as I had to be tracking. I think that's one of my flaws. I really love trackers, but I can't keep up with them for some reason, even though they're as simple as shading a box. I don't know why. I'll try to be better next year, but yeah, so I did read the number of books that I wanted to read. The consistency is just not as the consistency was not just as consistent as I wanted it to be. I think a large part of being able to reach 25 books then, even though it's not even a big number, is that I had an internship where I was forced to read a lot of material for like maybe a month or two. And so that was why I got to 25 books. I think I also had better reading habits this year compared to last year, but there is still more to be desired. Again, I'm not very consistent, but I found that I think my main form of quote unquote entertainment this year was reading rather than watching movies or shows. And that's not to say I don't want to watch movies or shows, but I don't know. That's just what happened. I do want to watch more movies, but at least I'm reading more. So, it's not a lose-lose. Yeah. So there. Hopefully next year I'll be able to read even more books. We shall see. Another thing I got to check off my bingo list is watch a play. If you didn't know, I tracked in playwriting in college as a creative writing major. And even though I was a playwriting tracker, I was never in a theater org because when I was ready to join a theater org, the pandemic came and I was not willing to do online theater because I just didn't like it. And also, my mental health went down the drain because it was a pandemic and I was in college. I was supposed to be having the best time of my life. Yet I was in my room crashing out. And so I don't think I was able to watch as many plays as I wanted to. And as much as I love playwriting, I don't think I am much of a theater supporter as I want to be. And my only goal this year was to watch one play. And I think I watched 4 plays this year, 5 plays this year. Um, so yeah, I think that was a really good check off that list. The next after that is I got to write a play. I had this idea since last year 2024 what the play I wrote was about. Ano? I had the idea for the play that I wrote since 2024, but I felt like I always didn't have the time. And so during the beginning of 2025, I dedicated January and February to really finishing that one act play because I wanted to submit it to the Virgin Lab Fest for 2026 because you submit the year before. And so I finished it. I'm actually really, really proud of that one act play, even though it did not get into Virgin Lab Fest 2026. I don't really care at this point. Um, but yeah, I got to finish that play. It also it was, the script was read during the anniversary of my Tito's disappearance this year with a really great cast, and it was really um, poignant the way that it was read because it's about um, looking for the victims of enforced disappearance in the Philippines. So that was really cool. I did not get to write any play after that, but I think for now I've put playwriting aside. It's not a priority as of the moment. And I don't know, it's just, I like it, but I don't know if I'm willing to go through the hoops of Philippine theater to really try to be a breakout star. I don't know if that makes sense, but next is I just actually checked this off a few days ago because I couldn't really determine what the qualifiers were, but the bingo goal is find a creative gig. And I feel like what makes for a creative gig, right? Like it can be anything. Does it have to be time bound? Does it have to be for an entire year you're doing that one gig? But I was like, no, as long as it's a creative gig, as long as I got paid for it, I think that counts. So I checked it off because I did do Jan Sports Unzipped podcast this year. That's crazy because the other hosts were either student jockeys, so they're made for podcasting and just hosting in general, and then another one is a really popular student TikToker from LaSalle. So I don't even know how I got into that mix because they're all really young. Like they're younger than me. They're still students. And two, I'm not as famous as any of them in our respective fields because I don't even think I have one field that I'm an expert of or that I'm really known for. So that was really cool. It took some time to adjust to because I am naturally, even the way I podcast, I think you would know that I'm naturally not an aggressive host. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Like when I say aggressive host, it's just really being asserting yourself in the conversation and um, making sure you're part of it. I podcast alone, so I don't have to do that. And just from the way I talk, I think you can tell that I'm not like that in real life. If I am part of the conversation naturally, I will participate, but if I'm set to the side or they seem like they're having a good time, I'm not gonna insert myself in that conversation randomly. Um I I think that actually needs work, but it's just also not my nature, so it's really hard to fight. But yeah, I of course I still had a good time. Like that's crazy. That's Jan Sport. Um and it's crazy that I got to be part of it given nga everyone else who was part of it, they're also good. Um yeah, yeah, I enjoyed my time doing that podcast even though it wasn't like it didn't take many shooting days. It was like 3 shooting days. And then I also generally got a lot more deals with quote unquote bigger brands this year for social media during the latter half of the year, which I don't know why because I haven't been posting as consistently, but that was really, really great. And it's really fun because I think I found my stride when it comes to pitching the video. Unlike before, I was just kind of scrambling, but now I think I always have a vision for when I pitch the video to the agencies and the brands. Okay, next I got to check is finish my CPE or certification in professional education. I think that's what it is. Basta may teaching certification, and then in parentheses take the let question mark. I did not take the let. I think teaching is also one of the things na I think I would still love to do it in the future, but it's just not for right now. I feel like I don't have enough experience of anything to be teaching students about it. Um, sure, I would love in another life. I would love to be a preschool teacher. I would love to be a grade school teacher. And I think if I'm teaching preschool or grade school, then my experience just comes with choosing to teach, right? Like the experience is the teaching itself. But if I want to teach college students, I really need to have a field of expertise, I'd say. Um, at least that's my preference. But yun, even though I want to be a preschooler or grade school teacher, I just don't think it gives enough financially for my needs for what I need to be earning. Um it doesn't really match the energy and the effort that you put into the job. Yung hours mo and effort and energy hindi sapat usually yung sinisweldo. So um yun, I mean sweldo ng teachers itaas, 'di ba? So yun. But I did get to finish that certification. And I really enjoyed going back to school. I would take 6 units each sem for 3 sems. And when it was really busy at work, I was like, "Oh my god, I hate my life. Why did I choose to study again?" And of course, it just comes with that territory, but I did really enjoy learning again. I felt like I was allowed to be just a student again, even though I was learning how to be a teacher. Sobrang understanding and sobrang babait nung eduk professors in UP Diliman because they're in eduk and they're educators. So, of course, they're going to be the most understanding people in the world. Not all, but a lot of them. So yun, I enjoyed kasi parang for the first time in a long time, I was allowed to just be learning rather than knowing. Kasi, I don't know, feeling ko sa age ko ngayon parang hindi na common na maging estudyante at learner lang. Like you also already have to be an expert at something, or you're on the way to be an expert at something. And I think I'm really far from that. I think I'm still figuring things out and I'm still learning a lot of things. Mm. So yun, I enjoyed my time. I enjoyed learning about literacy and reading specifically. I had the most wonderful literacy professors. Um, so yeah, I'm really proud of that. I forgot that happened this year. Feels so long ago, but yeah. The next thing I got to check is take a leave. This feels insane, but I I don't take leaves. I did not take an actual leave for maybe 2 years, like an official leave. And it's partly because I work from home most of the time. But then even my workmates would take a leave even when they work from home, so that they actually, when they take a leave, they actually don't work, right? And I never have done that. So that was one of my goals, because my goal was to like let go of work more. I don't think I was successful in that bigger goal, because again, I think work consumed me this year, not in the best way. But I did get to take a leave in January because it was a sick leave. Unfortunately, my first leave this year was a sick leave because I got dengue, and it was really terrible. I think the first 2 days when I had dengue, I was just like, whatever, this is just a regular flu. And then I still performed at an event at like 7, 8 p.m. while I had dengue, because I didn't know I had dengue. Do not do that. That's really dangerous. But yeah, that's why I had to take a leave. But then I also got to take a leave in I got to take multiple leaves in October so that we could go to Japan. Another factor to this is that this year I was basically doing two jobs, and the other one is more institutional, so I needed to take official leaves to actually not be working, or else other teams would think I'm working and I was not. So there was that. Next one is cut my hair short. I did cut my hair really, really short this year. And I have to be honest with you, I hated my hair most of this year. Can I be real? I hated my hair most of this year. Um, I think I went too short, or maybe it was the cut itself. It was just awkward. I looked like Snow White in a terrible way. And my hair texture was not how I wanted it to be, and so the bob was not doing what I needed it to do. My bangs were so thick and my hair was just so dark and it felt like a block. Um, it got better when I decided to bleach the front parts of my hair. I bleached my bangs, and so it kind of made the hair a bit lighter, but still it was so hard to style for most of the year. And then I got layers when it got a bit longer, and then it just was not good and it was short again. And this entire year I would look back at photos from 2024 and I was like, oh my god, I had the most beautiful long hair. Why did I do this to myself? And I understand why I did it to myself. I wanted to prove to myself that I could detach from my hair still. Like, I didn't care about hair that much. And I still don't think I do. I would, like, if you asked me now, I could still cut my hair short, but I don't want to. But I would. If you gave me money, I would, like, I'm not really I'm not really opposed to it, but it's just hindi talaga siya bumagay this year. I don't know why, but a lot of people really liked it, and a lot of people said na I'm really meant to have short hair. And I still agree with that. I feel like people just associate me with short hair because short hair feels more carefree, short hair feels free-spirited, short hair feels joyful, which I think I give the vibe of, which is not true, by the way. I'm not free spirited. I'm anxious all the time, but the way I speak, I think, and my aura gives that. So I understand why people associate me with short hair. But I just look really terrible this year. I will probably cut my hair short again, like in 2 years. But for now, I will be staying with just growing my hair and styling it, maybe doing layers or something, but not crazy short. That has to wait. So yeah, there's that. But I did check that off. Next that I checked off was celebrate Filipina's birthday. Never mind, I guess I'm editing a portion of this because I need to cut that part out. You don't have to understand why I like some interruptions happen, and so I cut a part out. Anyway, we did get to celebrate Filipina's birthday this year. Not as grand as I wanted to celebrate it, but we still got to celebrate it. It's our dog's first birthday, and this is the first dog that I really took care of since she was a puppy, and I think I was the main parent when she was a puppy. So I love that dog. We gave her ice cream. And yeah. And then I just hope that she gets a lot more birthdays with us because we everyone just loves her so much. And then last that I got to check off, but it's half checked only because you'll understand why. It's upload a it's the goal to upload a podcast episode every month. It's only half checked because I haven't finished I haven't finished filming the last episode of the year and I haven't uploaded it yet, but I am filming it now. So I would consider that completed. I enjoyed um doing a podcast every month. I mean doing a podcast episode every month. I proved to myself that I was able to be consistent no matter how rushed it was at times. I'm really proud of myself. I'm really proud of what I was able to talk about in a year. I'm proud of how I connected with even one or two people this year through this podcast. I'm proud of myself because I think this podcast brought me Jansport Unzipped, that podcast. So um, I'm proud of the opportunities that I was able to make for me. But more importantly, I'm proud of being able to grow through this podcast, to express my growth in this podcast, right? I will tell you more about my podcast feelings later, but that is checked off. And then now let's go through quickly through the things that I did not complete. First is start production of my short film. I wrote a script in 2024 for a short film, but I don't know any producers, so I didn't know how to produce a short film by myself. And I wanted to look for connections this year to kick off the production of that, but I just, I don't know, I just didn't prioritize it enough. Um, I think I still need to overcome my shyness and being introverted and just make connections. But yeah, I did not get to complete that. Second is find a part-time teaching job. I thought I wanted a part-time teaching job. I did not. And so I didn't even look for one because by the end of quarter one of this year, I was burnt out. So yeah. Next is finish 5 products from Project Pan. I started Project Pan last year and I think I actually finished more than 5 products this year, but I don't have the proof for it. Like I didn't count it. I didn't write which products they were. I'm sure I finished a lot because sometimes I would post them on my story, but I just don't have the evidence to say that I did, so I'm just not checking it off. But I'm still doing Project Pan. I'm just trying to finish as much makeup as I can because it's important that we use our makeup so that we actually finish them, you know? Next is exercise for 15 minutes a day. I put 15 minutes because I thought 15 minutes was not intimidating. And there were months that I was consistent with this, and then there were months where I would fall off. There were more months that I would fall off, so I did not check it off at all. Um, I think for next year, I really need one of my main goals to have better health habits because I'm getting older. I'm not getting any younger. So I just need to lock in and do that. Not for aesthetic purposes, more because I do want to be mobile when I get older and I don't want to be sick while I'm young, you know? And this year I got so sick. I got sick so many times, which is not me because when I was younger, I would never ever get sick. I would only get fever and like sipon once a year. But now I would get sick like every other month and it was so bad. And I think it was because one, I wasn't drinking vitamins. And two, I didn't have good sleep hygiene. Three, I was not exercising consistently. Four, it I was stressed all of the time. I was in constant fight or flight mode because of just being burnt out. I don't want to talk about it that much, but yeah, I just need and want to be healthier in 2026. Next, I didn't get to check off is right 25 minutes a day. A lot of these habits that I put here, I really dream of, but I just can't do them. Um, I think I'm not gonna put a writing goal for next year. Um, as surprising or sad as that is, I just want to focus on other things, and we'll see how it goes. It just didn't happen. I just didn't have I didn't have the energy to do this. There were days that I just felt really like a log, and so I didn't write. So I don't have much explanation for this. I just didn't prioritize it, and that's on me. Next is get my wisdom teeth removed. I did not get to do that. Costs a lot. But hopefully I will get to do that in the next few years. We shall see. Next, didn't get to watch 52 movies. Ideally, I wanted to watch one movie a week. I did not do this. I will probably not have a movie goal for next year just because I never get to do it anyway. Um, but yeah, I should watch more movies next year, but I don't want to put a number on it because it stresses me out. 52 movies isn't even a lot, but for some reason it's been so hard to watch movies. Yeah, I should watch more. I know I should watch more. It's really my damn phone. Anyway, next is I didn't get to check Play 5 games. I didn't play games this year. I'm so sad, but what the heck? Sorry, the alarm of my dog's medicine went off, so I had to turn that off. But yeah, I am so sad I didn't get to play games this year. Oh my gosh, I realized I didn't let myself have fun this year, and it was because I was so burnt out. And I really, really need to sort that out next year. I don't want to be stressed all the time. I don't want to be burnt out. I don't want to be the person who doesn't want to have fun at all. I don't want that for myself. So yeah. Next goal, I don't know if I shared this last year, so I will skip this, but I did not get to do that. It's health related. Next is apply for masters programs. I did not apply for a masters this year. I realized as well that I didn't want to. I just finished my certification and I came to the conclusion that I do want to study in the future, but it's not for right now. I'm burnt out. If I apply for a master's program and I get in, I'll just be even more burnt out. And I don't think I will be a happy person for a long time. So I did not apply to a master's program. And I'm happy I didn't. Next is go to Bicol for game research. We did not get to do this because we didn't have money to go to Bicol. And again, it was just a lot this year. So we didn't get to do that. Next is 7 a.m. wake up time, 11 p.m. bedtime. There were days that I got to achieve this, but there were more days that I didn't. My sleeping habits this year were really terrible. I would sleep late, try to wake up early, fail, ignore my alarms, still force myself to wake up. Sometimes would nap in the afternoon when I didn't need to nap. It was just a terrible year for me in terms of sleep as well, I think, and I should really sort that out next year. At least have a proper bedtime. And I think other things will follow. But yeah, I didn't get to check that off. I want to improve on that next year. So something for my health again. Next is have my Canon M6 fixed up. I wanted to have my Canon camera fixed, specifically the flash, because it's burnt. Like it's burnt to a crisp. But apparently they don't do repairs for that unit anymore. It's phased out, so they don't repair it anymore. So I got an external flash instead. So I did not get to fix it, but the problem is fixed. So yeah. And then lastly, my last goal is to touch my toes again. To be fair, I think I can touch my toes again. I was able to do a bit of yoga this year, but I don't think I was consistent enough. And two, I don't think when I try to touch my toes, it's not as relaxed as I want it to be. Before, I could put my entire palm on the floor, like both of my palms on the floor, and I was fine. And this was because I was really consistent with yoga in 2023-ish or 2022. So yeah, I hope, or 2021. Basta, I hope to be able to do that again. Next year, that's still gonna be one of my goals. So yeah, that's my bingo card for 2025. I wanted to close it with that because I kind of started the year with that bingo card as well with you guys. And before I close the podcast episode, I have an important announcement that maybe no one really cares about, but um um Big Girl Brunch as a podcast will be going on indefinite hiatus starting 2026, which means that I will not be uploading a monthly podcast episode for you guys. Um, I really enjoyed doing it this year, but by the end, it has begun to feel like a task that I didn't want to do. Um, and when I start filming, I still like it, but I just don't like the feeling of um, dreading to do it, you know? Um, I'm really grateful for everyone who has supported this podcast. I'm grateful for the people who express that they enjoy listening. I'm really glad that I've started like a little tiny itty bitty community with this podcast, and I just really love this podcast, but I think I need to focus on other things for next year. And so for now, this is the end of Big Girl Brunch. I for sure will probably, not for sure then, I probably will still pick this podcast up in the future. I just feel like I don't have enough to say rin as a big girl, as an ate. I don't have enough to share with you guys. And I wanna, if we're gonna do Big Girl Brunch, I wanna be able to actually impart something meaningful. I want you guys to feel like you're getting something out of the podcast rather than just listening to me yapping. Um, so yeah, I think this is it for now for the podcast. I will the YouTube channel Jalbadoodle, where the podcast episodes are also uploaded, will still live on for next year. Actually, I want to set this podcast aside because I want to focus more on uploading YouTube videos rather than podcast episodes. So think YouTube vlogs, I don't know, sit down videos. I just want to try to do that as well. And so that's what we're focusing on next year. And so if you're on the YouTube channel, it's not like I'm going to be gone. This format is just going to be gone for a bit. Yeah, I just want to see where that takes me, you know. So thank you guys for this year. You don't know how much it means to me when you tell me that you listen to my podcast. A few times this year, people have posted on their story that they listen to this podcast, and I'm like, wow, that's so insane. I can't believe they would set aside time to listen to me talk. And so thank you so much. And I hope you enjoy the things or the videos that I put out next year still. And I hope they can still provide you comfort. I hope they still resonate with you. I hope they give you the company that you need. And I hope you had a good 2025. I hope we even have a better 2026. Happy New Year in advance, and I will see you guys next year.